have enough power in me to make my point. I'm repeating, I have enough power in me to make my point, so I don't need a PowerPoint. Let me move on with German. Ich will Ihnen auch sagen, was ich machen werde. Ich will versuchen, ein relativ einfaches Deutsch zu sprechen, damit Sie alle mich verstehen. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, who is wrongly pronounced by many teachers of German in India as, particularly in North India, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, hat einmal gesagt, im Deutschen ist man höflich, wenn man lügt. Ich werde ganz ehrlich sein, das ist immer mein Stil gewesen in meiner ganzen Karriere. Ich werde ganz ehrlich sein und ganz offen Ihnen meine Meinung zu unserem Thema heute sagen. Because Georg Christoph Lichtenberg, ein Satiriker, Philosoph aus Deutschland, hat gesagt, vom Wahrsagen lässt sich wohl leben in der Welt, aber nicht vom Wahrheitssagen. So, whatever I'm going to tell you is going to be a little provocative, may sound a little aggressive. I may sound like a bulldozer, but that is the job of a teacher. A teacher has to be like a bulldozer. So if at the end you have problems digesting whatever I said, go and take Hajmola. Es ist nicht meine Aufgabe, Ihnen allen objektiv das Beste zu geben, sondern das meine so aufrichtig wie möglich. Das ist, was Hermann Hesse gesagt hat. Wie Sie alle wissen, bedeutet die Kurzform DAF, Deutsch als Fremdsprache. Die Lehrer und Lehrerinnen, die in Indien, auch überall auf der ganzen Welt Deutsch unterrichten, bezeichnet man als DAF-Lehrer oder DAF-Lehrerin. Zunächst möchte ich eine allgemeine Bemerkung machen zur Problematik des Sprachenlernens in Indien. Das werde ich wahrscheinlich später nochmal etwas verstärkt wiederholen. Hier ist meine höchstpersönliche Meinung. Ich spreche leider nur 10 Sprachen und das ist meine persönliche Meinung über das Sprachlernen in Indien. In einem multilingualen Land wie in Indien, wo man immer noch eine Einheit in Vielfalt strebt, um die Nation als Ganzes zusammenzuhalten, ist das Lernen von verschiedenen indischen Sprachen in den Schulen, das muss die erste Priorität sein. Das ist sehr wichtig. Die Kinder sollen ihre Muttersprache lernen. Das ist wichtig. Aber die Realität sieht anders aus. Englisch wird überbewertet und die indischen Sprachen sterben langsam aus. Meine Meinung in diesem Kontext ist, dass jedes Kind in Indien zuerst gut die Muttersprache lernen soll. Und die Kinder sollen auch stolz auf ihre Muttersprache sein. Jedes Kind in Indien, in Südindien, soll zusätzlich zu der Muttersprache auch noch eine andere indische Sprache lernen. Das heißt, wenn die Eltern von Kerala sind, sie leben in Andhra Pradesh, dann soll das Kind auch Telugu lernen. Oder wenn die Eltern von Andhra Pradesh sind, sie leben in Kerala, soll das Kind Telugu lernen und dann ein bisschen Malayalam lernen. Im Interesse von ganz Indien, woran wir als Südinder vielleicht viel mehr glauben als die anderen, es nutzt auch, es schadet uns nicht, wenn wir alle ein bisschen Hindi lernen. Aber gleichzeitig würde ich sagen, jedes Kind in Nordindien soll auch eine südindische Sprache lernen. Das ist für mich eine Integration des ganzen Landes. Alle sollen auch etwas Englisch lernen, weil das heute in der Welt verlangt wird. Mit solch einer Basis, die Kinder sollen diese Basis haben. Muttersprache, Regionalsprache, Hindi, bisschen Englisch. Erst dann sollen unsere Kinder, da habe ich eine sehr klare Meinung, dann sollen die indischen Kinder die Fremdsprachen wie Deutsch, Französisch, Spanisch, Italienisch, Chinesisch, Japanisch, Arabisch und so weiter attackieren. So a surgical attack on foreign languages only after you as an Indian have learned your mother tongue, one of the regional languages, Hindi, and a bit of English. We say in Hindi, in Hindi, Parichai Bhasha, Suparichai Bhasha und Aparichai Bhasha. Das muss die Reihenfolge sein. Parichai Bhasha, das ist meine Muttersprache, Tamil. Nicht Tamil, Tamil. Und was ist Suparichai Bhasha? Malayalam ist eine Suparichai Bhasha für mich. Quite similar to Tamil. For a Kannada speaker, Telugu. Und was ist Aparichai Bhasha? Englisch ist Aparichai Bhasha. Unter Umständen Hindi ist auch Aparichai Bhasha. So muss das sein. Wenn wir heute die ganze Welt betrachten, so stellen wir fest, die räumlichen Distanzen verkürzen sich. Die Mobilität der Menschen wächst. Menschen unterschiedlicher Herkunft, Sprache und Kultur leben und arbeiten in der heutigen Welt nah beieinander. Aus diesem Grund findet überall interkulturelle Interaktion statt. Uns wird oft gesagt, oh, the world is getting very small. Distances are getting shorter. But the problem is world is getting smaller. Distances are getting shorter. But the time to get the visa is getting longer and longer. Think about it. Der Fremdsprachenunterricht steht im Zuge der Globalisierung von neuen Herausforderungen. Er muss neben der Ausbildung rein sprachlicher Qualifikationen auch auf den ständig wachsenden Austausch mit anderen Kulturen vorbereiten. Interkulturelles Lernen, das der Entwicklung interkultureller Kompetenz dienen soll im Mittelpunkt des Fremdsprachenunterrichts stehen. Deutschunterricht gibt es in Indien seit mehr als 100 Jahren. An vielen indischen Universitäten, Colleges und Schulen wird Deutsch als Fremdsprache unterrichtet. Can I request those of you whose audio is switched on to please switch it off? Because I'm called for background music. I'm not an Indian film hero and I don't need any background music. I never had a background music in my life. Please switch off your microphone, all of you, please. Thank you. So, in Indien wird seit 100 Jahren Deutsch unterrichtet. An vielen indischen Universitäten, Colleges und Schulen wird Deutsch auch als Fremdsprache unterrichtet. Hinzu kommen das Kulturinstitut, Goethe-Institut, genannt Max-Müller-Bauern in Indien. Das hat einen besonderen Grund, warum das Max-Müller-Bauern heißt. Wir haben auch mittlerweile Goethe-Zentren und es gibt natürlich viele, viele private Institute in jeder Straßenecke, die auch Deutsch als Fremdsprache-Kurse anbieten. Wie sieht es mit Deutsch als Fremdsprache in Indien aus? Und deshalb lautet meine sehr, sehr besorgte Frage heute: Wir können stundenlang, tagelang, monatelang über Technologie reden, Medien reden, Internet, soziale Netzwerke. Wir können reden, so viel wir wollen. Aber wo sind die effektiven Lehrer, Lehrerinnen für Deutsch als Fremdsprache in Indien? Das ist meine große Frage. Denn wir wollen eine Hochzeit feiern. Wir haben allerlei Lebensmittel geholt. Wir haben einen großen Saal. Kochgeräte sind da. Alles ist da. Aber wo sind die guten Köche? Ohne sie kann man das alles nicht sinnvoll benutzen. Wir haben ein sehr gutes Cricketfeld. Alles ist fein. Wir haben Publikum. Wir haben die neuesten Bälle, Bats, Abdomen Guard. Aber wo sind die guten Spieler? Wir wollen ein Konzert anbieten. Wir haben allerlei Musikinstrumente auf der Bühne, die tollsten Instrumente. Aber wir brauchen Leute, die diese Instrumente gut spielen können. Wenn wir nur Leute haben, die es nicht gut spielen können, dann ist es kein Konzert, das ist eine Katastrophe. Also welche Eigenschaften sollte ein idealer ausländischer Deutschlehrer haben und was muss er oder sie alles können? Wenn ich ständig er sage, dann bitte ich die Damen, Rücksicht auf mich zu nehmen, denn ich bin der größte Feminist auf der Welt. Einfach halber sage ich einfach jetzt er. And personally, I really believe women are the Shakti, men are the weakness. So let me hammer all these thoughts into the men first. Ein guter Deutschlehrer oder eine gute Deutschlehrerin braucht folgende Kompetenzen. linguistische Kompetenz, soziolinguistische Kompetenz, Diskurskompetenz, strategische Kompetenz, soziale Kompetenz und interkulturelle Kompetenz. Ein guter Deutschlehrer, eine gute Deutschlehrerin in Indien muss meines Erachtens folgende Qualitäten haben. Der darf Lehrer beim Lernprozess und Lehrprozess einer Fremdsprache eine entscheidende Rolle spielt, sollte er in der Lage sein, den Unterricht am effektivsten prägen zu können, indem er seine beruflichen Kompetenzen beweist. Und zwar, das sind die beruflichen Kompetenzen. Er soll seine beruflichen Kompetenzen beweisen durch seine einwandfreien sprachlichen Kenntnisse. Da gibt es keine Entschuldigung dafür. Durch zielgerichtete Lehrtechniken und Unterrichtsaktivitäten. Durch seine Kreativität in seinem Unterricht. Und durch ein positives Verhalten im Klassenraum. Der DAF-Lehrer soll die Kompetenz des effizienten Gebrauchs der Körpersprache im Unterricht besitzen, interkulturelle Kompetenz haben, auf die Interaktion zwischen Lehrer und Schüler achten, bei der Gestaltung des Unterrichts ein kreatives Verhalten aufweisen, die aktive Beteiligung der Schüler im Unterricht fördern, ein flexibles und tolerantes Verhalten gegenüber den Schülern aufzeigen, bei der Klassenführung, soweit es möglich ist, moderne Techniken anwenden. Manchmal geht es nicht, aber das macht nichts. Wir müssen nicht vergessen, heute die ganze Industrie, Technologie macht uns glauben, wenn man als Lehrer diese Geräte nicht benutzt, ist man kein guter Lehrer. Das stimmt überhaupt nicht. The teachers in ancient India, I don't belong to any party, don't mistake me. Teachers in ancient India didn't even have a blackboard and chalk piece. They taught. You know, today you're talking about drones being sent everywhere. You're proud of it. But we had a dronacharya. We had a dronacharya already in India. So, moderne Technik ist gut, aber das ist nur eine Unterstützung. Und der Lehrer soll auch beweisen, durch ein autonomes Lernen beim Schüler, er muss das fördern. Und der Lehrer soll seine beruflichen Kompetenzen ständig weiterentwickeln. Rolling Stone gathers no mass. Ein DAF-Lehrer soll als eine ideale und ernstzunehmende Persönlichkeit sich folgendermaßen verhalten. Als ein gewissenhafter Lehrer. Man muss fachlich kompetent sein. Und was ich jetzt sage, das ist wichtig eigentlich für jeden Deutschlehrer, nicht nur in Indien, auf der ganzen Welt, der Deutsch als Fremdsprache unterrichtet. Man muss fachlich kompetent sein. Man muss die deutsche Sprache gründlich beherrschen, sehr gut beherrschen. Man muss eine gute und vorbildliche Aussprache haben. Man darf niemals falsches Deutsch unterrichten. Man muss den Unterricht pünktlich beginnen und auch pünktlich beenden. Man muss Vorbildfunktion einnehmen. Man muss sich den eigenen Stärken und Schwächen bewusst sein. Man muss eigene Belastbarkeitsgrenzen kennen. Man muss selbstsicher sein und selbstbewusst auftreten. Man muss ganz bewusst sowohl die Rolle des Wissensvermittlers als auch des Erziehers spielen. Es geht nicht nur um Sprachunterricht. Es geht auch um die Entwicklung des kritischen Denkens, was unseren Schülern oder Studenten in Indien fehlt. Die indischen Kinder sind nicht kritisch. Wir bringen ihnen nicht bei, wie sie kritisch denken sollen, denn seit der Kindheit wird ihnen gesagt, keine Frage stellen. Du sollst nur gehorchen. Alles, was die alten Leute sagen, das musst du machen. Ja, woher sollen sie dann selbstständig werden? Und dann, wenn sie mit dem Degree fertig sind, Jobs suchen, dann haben sie Angst vor Gruppendiskussion. Es gibt keine Gruppendiskussion. They don't know what is, group discussion. And you know what happens typically? Let me tell you this in English quickly. What happens typically in an Indian family? In a normal Indian family, there is no discussion at all. The hierarchy is fixed. Age is equal to wisdom. Whatever grandfather says is correct. Or the father, or whoever is the higher authority. You see that also in some particular political parties in India. So, I'll give you one small example. There is an electronics engineer by name Mahesh. He has studied electronics engineering. He gets a corporate job, earns 2 lakhs per month, wants to buy a new TV for the house. In the US, France, America, Mahesh will go and buy the TV because he knows it. He will bring the TV and say, hey, I have a new TV for all of us. The whole family is happy. What happens in India? No, 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 no. Mahesh cannot buy it. He has to go and tell his father first. So he'll go to his father. He is electronics engineer. Father is only BSc. He will go and say in any Indian language. Okay. एक नया टीवी खरीदेंगे, we'll buy a new TV. Father will say, हाँ, सोच के कल बताऊंगा. I'll tell you tomorrow. நாளைக்கு சொல்றேன். Okay. His father will go to his father, grandfather. That man is only high school. He'll go and tell him, Mahesh wants to buy a new TV. And the old man will give us first a lecture. Yeah, these days, young people, once they get money, they want to spend lavishly. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, let me see. Let me find out. I'll tell you tomorrow. He will go to his father, great grandfather, who is 90 years old, sitting in front of the TV all day, shaking his head and whole body, and trying to understand what's happening on the TV. He will go and tell him. That man said, हाँ एक टीवी खरीदेंगे வாங்கலாம் வாங்கலாம் நல்லதுதான் எனக்கு கூட கண்ணு சரியில்லை நல்ல டிவி வேணும் मेरी आंखें भी ठीक नहीं है अच्छा टीवी चाहिए मैं कल बताऊंगा. Now if I'll ask you in a face-to-face classroom, who decides which TV this family buys? You will all jump at me and tell me the great grandfather. No, you are wrong. That means you are not living in reality in India. You know who will decide? I'll tell you. This old 90-year-old grandfather will be watching TV. Suddenly there will be commercials on the TV. Kareena Kapoor will come and she will say LG TV is the best TV. The grandfather is so happy with Kareena Kapoor. He likes her. I also like her. He will call his son, LG TV kharidenge. He will tell his son, LG TV kharidenge. Arey, LG TV. This idiot Mahesh, who is electronics engineer, will go and buy a LG TV. What is the use of education? So, als Lehrer muss man seine berufliche Kompetenz fortlaufend erweitern und entwickeln. Als Lehrer muss man bereit sein, sich ständig weiterzubilden. Ein guter Lehrer, der effektiv sein will, muss seinen Beruf lieben. It's not a job, it's a profession. Man braucht auch emotionale Belastbarkeit, Selbstvertrauen und ein starkes Durchsetzungsvermögen, weil die Anforderungen an die Lehrer auf der ganzen Welt sich ständig ändern. Lehren bedeutet doppeltes Lernen. Wir sind Lehrer, aber wir lernen auch viel von unseren Studenten. Das darf man nicht vergessen. Fragen uns wir mal ehrlich jetzt. Wie viele Deutschlehrer, Deutschlehrerinnen in Indien heute haben alle diese Kompetenzen in ausreichendem Maße? Die realistische Antwort lautet, leider haben die meisten Lehrer und Lehrerinnen, auch TAF-Lehrer und Lehrerinnen, viele dieser Kompetenzen entweder gar nicht oder nicht im ausreichenden Maße. So, was ist das Problem zwischen einer idealen Situation und der bitteren Realität? Alles, was wir bis jetzt gesagt haben, klingt ja sehr ideal. Eine ideale Situation ist guter Lerner, gute Lehrkräfte, gute Materialien, guter DAF-Unterricht. Aber das ist leider nicht die Realität. Nicht nur in Indien, auf der ganzen Welt. Wie sieht die realistische Situation für die DAF-Lehrer und DAF-Lehrerinnen in Indien aus? Die Vermittlung von einer Fremdsprache stellt an die Lehrkräfte hohe methodische und didaktische, pädagogische und auch persönliche Anforderungen. Früher haben in Indien nur solche Leute Deutsch unterrichtet, die mindestens ein Magisterstudium, ordentliches Magisterstudium, nicht Distance Education, ordentliches Magisterstudium absolviert haben und eine fundierte Lehrerausbildung bekommen haben. Es gab viele Deutschlehrer damals, die zu uns nach Hyderabad gekommen sind, am Central Institute of English and Foreign Languages eine Lehrerausbildung besucht haben. Früher waren die meisten DAF-Lehrer und Lehrerinnen in Indien fachlich gut ausgebildet. Auch Goethe-Lehrer, auch Lehrer am Max Müller waren, sie wurden fachlich gut ausgebildet. Das war damals und hatten die erforderlichen pädagogisch-didaktischen Fähigkeiten. Heute kann jeder, der einige Sprachkurse gemacht hat, Deutschlehrer werden. So anybody who has done some German courses becomes the teacher. So self-appointed Kotwal ban gaye. My simple question is, this I'm putting in English so the others also get it. If I study 2 semesters mechanical engineer, can I work as a mechanical engineer? If I study 2 semesters of medicine, can I become and work as a doctor? If I study 2 semesters lawyer, can I fight cases in the court? If I have been in the army for 4 weeks, can I lead a war against? The choice is yours, any country. So, if I learned 3 weeks of Kathakali, can I become a Kathakali Hasan? If I learned 3 weeks of Kuchipudi, I become a great Kuchipudi teacher. Okay. Even if I want to become a very, very good chaiwala, my chai should be very good. So, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Heute ist es so, das ist die bittere Wahrheit. Viele haben die nötige sprachliche und fachliche Kompetention überhaupt nicht. Viele junge Leute haben sich einige Sprachzertifikate geholt. Sie fangen an den indischen Bildungseinrichtungen, vor allem an den Schulen, Deutsch zu unterrichten. Es gibt auch einige, die bei indischen Firmen Deutsch unterrichten. Und heute ist das natürlich so, jeder kann auf YouTube sein Geschäft aufmachen. Das kann jeder machen. I forgot to add one more thing at the end. If I have done 4 years of Malayalam in the school, can I become a Malayalam Pandit? Big question. Okay. Es gibt Lehrer, die Stufe A2 gemacht haben. Sie machen selbst ein B1 jetzt, aber sie unterrichten schon A1 und A2. Die große und unangenehme Frage ist, was für ein Deutsch kann unterrichtet werden, wenn die Deutschlehrer selbst halbgebackene Lehrer sind. Es ist aber traurig und recht gefährlich, dass solche DAF-Lehrer eine falsche Selbstsicherheit haben. Das ist das nächste Problem. Vidya datati vinayam. That's what they said in Sanskrit. Nowadays, anybody who has done a A2, B1, B2, they behave big. One boy told me at the Goethe Center after the lecture, sir, I have decided my future. I said, what? Some of the things I'm telling you in English so that you get roughly about what I'm talking about. So that you don't think I'm a cat, that you can still see I'm a tiger. So, he said, sir, I know my future. I said, what are you doing? I joined the A1 course, he said. Good, I said. I'll do A2, B1, B2. I said, then I will go to America and teach German. I said, B2 as an Indian, you will go to America and teach German. First he said, I'll go to Germany and teach German. I said, why will the German allow you to teach German? I said. Then he came down to second choice, America. I said, why will the American let you teach as an Indian German in America? But I really admire the guts of these young people. I don't have that guts even today. I'm still Vidya Datati Vinayam. You see? You know what he said? Why, sir? Why can't I go to America and teach? You are teaching, no? So I told him, Dekho beta, you have done big things. A1, A2, P1, A2. What have I done? I did some little faltu PhD in German, I said. Then he said, sir, what is PhD? That was it. So, the question is, your self-confidence, self-pride should be according to your knowledge. Empty vessels make big noise. Go to LinkedIn and see. What do all these people put self-designation? Today, everybody is vice president of a corporate company. You can start a company tomorrow, you can become president. Your brother can be vice president, your uncle can be, another vice president. It's all very easy today. Anybody can print any card. Sie nennen sich große deutsche Experten. Go to LinkedIn and see, German expert, German consultant. Die können nicht 4 Sätze Deutsch mit mir sprechen. Das ist eine falsche und unnötige Arroganz mit viel Unwissen. I told you Vidya Datati Vinayam. India, it's all gone. The only Indian men who still have that Vinayam, modesty, humility, these are the Indian fellows whose wife's name is Vidya. She teaches them how to be modest. Otherwise, they have no chance. On YouTube, go and see what kind of German they teach. Absolute rotten, wrong. I heard people teaching, ja, wir lernen heute Alphabete. A is alphabet. B is alphabet. Okay. The worst thing is when he comes to umlaut, he will write A omelette. Das ist A omelette. O omelette. U omelette. Most of the learners are vegetarians. They don't want an omelette. So, viele tun nichts, ihr eigenes Deutsch zu verbessern. Was ist das Argument? Well, I'm teaching only A2 level. No, why should I improve my German? That's it. These English teachers are also doing. I'm not that I'm taking them out. Die jungen Deutschlehrerinnen und Deutschlehrer an den indischen Schulen beherrschen nicht in genügendem Maße sowohl die verbale als auch die nicht verbale Kommunikationskompetenz. Sie können sich nicht auf Deutsch einwandfrei äußern, aber bringen den Lernenden ein nicht so richtiges Deutsch bei. Das ist ja aber nicht ihre Schuld. I don't hold the people responsible. It's a system. It's a systemic problem. Die jungen Lehrer, die an den indischen Schulen Deutsch unterrichten, zum Beispiel, das geschieht auch an Colleges, Universitäten auch. Sie haben viele Probleme und bekommen keinerlei Unterstützung von der Schulverwaltung, Collegeverwaltung oder Universitätsverwaltung von den sogenannten Authorities. Because the authorities want to only earn money. They want to keep the egos of the parents happy. That's all. So, all private universities go and see. As a teacher, you are never supposed to hurt the feelings of the parents. So the teacher comes to PTA meeting and says, why did my son get only 40% marks? The teacher is responsible. In my days, if I got 40% in mathematics, my maths teacher called me, gave me the test paper and gave me one slap. I came running home crying. My mother said, what happened? Mathematics, I got 40. Teacher slapped me. My mother gave one more. And actually, my mother brought me to school, told the teacher, give him 2 more. Because I was responsible for my learning. Today, no. Why is my son getting 40? I told you in one of the teacher workshop, the teachers, next parent-teacher meeting, if a parent asks you, why did my son get only 40% maths? Smile and say, because he is your son. Die Lehrmaterialien, die für den Deutschunterricht in den indischen Bildungseinrichtungen benutzt werden, sie stammen heute noch aus Deutschland und gehen an den interkulturellen Bedürfnissen der indischen Schüler absolut vorbei. Auch wenn in Indien ein Buch erstellt wird, das ist ein Replika von dem, was die Deutschen in Deutschland gemacht haben. Basically, what the Indian authors do is, they add a little bit of kotamari, coriander, like you add to a biryani at the end, No? That's only contribution. Die deutschen Experten, die für kurze Zeit, manchmal nur für eine Woche nach Indien kommen und den indischen Deutschlehrern und Deutschlehrern oft unrealistische, didaktische Vorschläge anbieten, die in Deutschland funktionieren werden, aber nicht in Indien, die haben keine Ahnung vom indischen Bildungssystem. Did any time any German expert who came to give a lecture to you or conduct a workshop on didactics, first of all, ask you people, please tell me first half an hour, what is the Indian education system? What is the situation of teaching German in this country? What are the problems you have? No. They are like Santa Claus. They have a big bag, they bring it, then you get your Christmas gifts. Idealerweise sollte der Deutsche und der Indien den Indern nicht nur über die Wirklichkeit in den deutschsprachigen Ländern Informationen liefern, sondern bei den Lernern auch eine kritische Einsicht in die sie umgebende indische Wirklichkeit fördern. Durch Deutschunterricht soll der indische Student Indien besser kennenlernen. Er kennt Indien überhaupt nicht. Textbooks offer about Brandenburger Tor, Frauenkirche in München. Yeah, all that they will talk. Ask him about the Jewish synagogue in Cochin. Ask him about Padmanabhan Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram, Taj Mahal in Agra, Qutub Minar, Char Minar. He knows nothing. He will learn all that if he is doing a competitive exam. There's a paper called General Knowledge. Wir brauchen für den Deutsch und den Indien eine der indischen sprachlichen und soziokulturellen Umgebung angepasste Lehr- und Lernmethode in Betracht ziehen. Wir sollten es in Betracht ziehen. Wir sollten uns nicht von den Methoden aus dem monolinguistischen und monokulturellen Ausland verleiten lassen. Auch wenn man diese Methode nach Indien zollfrei einführen kann. Jeder sogenannte Experte aus einem deutschsprachigen Land erlebt und erfährt in Indien, dass er kaum etwas bewirken kann. Aber sie geben das nicht zu und in Indien nichts ändern können. Wer monolingual und monokultural gebildet ist, ausgebildet ist, ist in vielen Fällen eingebildet. If you don't know the word eingebildet, find out. Begeht selbstständig den Fehler, dass er oder sie die Lern- und Lehrgewohnheiten derjenigen, die multikulturell, multilingual geprägt sind, nach den eingehend, das heißt monokulturellen, monolingualen Maßstäben beurteilt und verurteilt. When I lived in Hyderabad as a professor of German, as a teacher trainer, I used to train also teachers of English. Morning, I used to get up, speak Tamil in my house. Then I go to the institute, speak in English. In institute, I speak English with my other colleagues, German, of course. I used to speak a little Telugu. Evening, I came home, bought my vegetables from a Telugu-speaking person. Then I went to a Udupi restaurant, ordered my masala dosa in Kannada. Then I took a auto rickshaw, spoke to the fellow in Urdu. Then I saw a Hindi film and sometimes also a Bhojpuri film. They are more interesting. And evening I came home, I read a scholarly article written by a German who knew only German, how to teach foreign languages. That was the bitter reality. But of course, I didn't sit in the bandwagon. Über den adressatenorientierten Unterricht sollten diejenigen zu entscheiden haben, die in der Tat den sprachlichen und kulturellen Zugang zu den Adressaten haben und nicht diejenigen, die aus der Perspektive eines monolingualen und monokulturellen Kulturkreises Theorien entwickeln. Das sind alle bedauerlicherweise heute noch Wunschvorstellungen, denn die Realität sieht doch ganz anders aus. Whatever I'm telling you right now, it applies not only to German. Same thing applies to English, French, Russian, Spanish, every language in India. We have to decide what we need. We have to use methods which will work for us. We can't get all the spoon feeding from outside. Das Leben eines Deutschlehrers in Indien, an vielen Orten, um es mit den Worten von Hermann Hesse zu sagen, ist, I hope you know that poem, einsam im Nebel zu wandern. Nur Lehrer, die alle Qualitäten haben, die ich aufgelistet habe, können effektiv und erfolgreich ihren Studenten und Studentinnen Deutsch als Fremdsprache beibringen. Als ein selbstkritischer Lehrer muss man die Notwendigkeit einer Selbstdiagnose einsehen, über das eigene Verhalten kritisch reflektieren. Das nennen wir in der indischen Tradition Atma Vichar. Only Atma Vichar will take you to Atma Nirbhar. Wenn Sie in Indien DAF-Lehrer oder DAF-Lehrerin sind, machen Sie eine Selbstanalyse. Fragen Sie sich, habe ich alle diese Kompetenzen und Qualitäten? Ist mein Deutsch sehr gut? Ist meine Aussprache einwandfrei? Unterrichte ich wirklich korrektes Deutsch? Versuche ich auch ständig mein eigenes Deutsch zu verbessern? Wenn Ihre ehrliche Antwort ist nein, noch nicht, dann brauchen Sie dringend Weiterbildung und Fortbildung. Kontinuierliche Weiterbildung, Fortbildung. Es geht auch um Ihren selben Eigenwert, Selbstwert. What is called self-respect. It's a question of your professional self-respect und professional pride in der Gesellschaft. Die Gesellschaft respektiert nur solche Lehrer, die viel Wissen haben, fachlich kompetent sind und dann selbstbewusst sind. And let us not underestimate the students. Student knows in 3 days what kind of teacher you are. Wenn Sie ein sehr guter Deutschlehrer sein wollen, dann respektieren Sie auch die Muttersprachler. Sie sollen indische Muttersprachler respektieren und Ihr Deutsch soll so gut sein, dass die deutschen Muttersprachler Sie respektieren. Ihr Ziel soll sein, dass Ihr Deutsch besser ist als das Deutsch der Muttersprachler. Das braucht Zeit. Als ein selbstkritischer Lehrer muss man die Notwendigkeit einer Selbstdiagnose einsehen und das eigene Verhalten kritisch reflektieren. Wie viele indische Deutschlehrer tun das heute? Das nennt in der Sanskrit-Tradition nennt man Swadharmam, Swadharma. Ein Lehrer hat in der indischen Tradition nach ein Swadharma. So, Sie müssen entscheiden. Do I want to follow my Swadharma? Do I say, मेरा धर्म ही मेरा धंधा है? Or do I want to say, मेरा धंधा ही मेरा धर्म है? Sie sollen sich weiterbilden, fortbilden, nicht nur für die Welt, sondern für sich selbst. Dann werden sie in die innere Ruhe und innere Ausgeglichenheit haben und können stolz sein, ein Deutschlehrer zu sein. Ich komme langsam zum Schluss. In einem multilingualen Land wie in Indien, wo man immer nach einer Einheit in Vielfalt strebt, um die Nation als Ganzes zusammenzuhalten, ist das Erlernen von verschiedenen indischen Sprachen in den Schulen viel wichtiger als das Lernen von Sprachen aus anderen Kulturkreisen, aus anderen Ländern. Die indischen Schüler sollten erst dann Sprachen wie Deutsch, Französisch und so weiter lernen, wenn sie mit ihrem Hochschulstudium an der Universität anfangen. Das reicht. Meines Erachtens, das ist eine brutale Meinung, meines Erachtens brauchen die indischen Kinder in den indischen Schulen keine Fremdsprachen wie Deutsch oder Französisch, Spanisch, Japanisch und so weiter. Indien hat den größten Fehler begangen, dass wir, ich spreche für Deutschlehrer, wir den Deutschunterricht an den Schulen den Deutschen und ihren Institutionen überlassen haben. Wir haben das ausgehändigt. Es handelt sich dabei von deutscher Seite um eine keineswegs zu befürwortende und enorme Einmischung in die inneren Angelegenheit des indischen Bildungswesens. Sie sollten eines wissen. Interessanterweise holt sich Deutschland keine muttersprachlichen Experte aus Großbritannien, die ihnen sagen, wie sie in Deutschland Englisch unterrichten sollen. Deutschland holt sich aus Frankreich keine Franzosen, Muttersprachler, die den Deutschen sagen, wie man in Deutschland Französisch unterrichten soll. Deutschland holt sich aus Russland keine Russen, die ihnen sagen, wie man in Deutschland Russisch unterrichten soll. Was man an deutschen Schulen als Fremdsprachen unterrichtet, wie man das unterrichtet, das entscheiden im Endeffekt die Deutschen. DAF-Unterricht in Indien ist heute nicht anders eine Dienstleistungsindustrie. Foreign languages, also English, has become a service industry. It's not anymore a scholarly learning, a cultural learning, anthropological learning, sociological learning. It's all simple business, also e-business. Deutsch wird als Ware verkauft mit einer recht vielsprechenden oder daher überzeugenden Umwerbung. Versprochen werden Studien, Arbeitsmöglichkeiten in Deutschland und das dazu nötige Visum bekommt man nur, wenn man Deutsch lernt und bestimmte Zertifikate macht. Vielen jungen Leuten wird nahegelegt, sich einige Sprachzertifikate zu holen und dann an den indischen Bildungseinrichtungen, vor allem an den Schulen, Deutsch zu unterrichten. Die große und unangenehme Frage dabei ist, was für ein Deutsch kann unterrichtet werden, wenn die Deutschlehrer selbst halbwissend sind. So, zurück unserer Frage. Media, Internet, Computer, Technologie, alle sind da. Aber wo sind die effektiven Deutschlehrer? Wenn ich an diese Probleme denke, dann kann ich nur zwei Sachen sagen. Einmal, निकले कहाँ जाने के लिए पहुंचे है कहाँ मालूम नहीं. निकले थे कहाँ जाने के लिए पहुंचे है कहाँ मालूम नहीं. राहों में भटकते भटकते मुसाफिर को मंजिल का निशान मालूम नहीं. And one more thing. However provocative I was, I hope you understand my concern. I can only tell you, borrowing as a Tamil speaking person from the beautiful Hindi book, poem, not Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Madhushala, that will be wrong here, We don't need a Madhubala now. But I'm thinking of Jaishankar Prasad Asu. When I look at the situation of German in India, foreign languages in India, even English in India, I don't understand why do Indian children in the school need American English? For what? British English. For what? Let them learn Indian English. British English, American English, they can add as tools later on. And for any of you, I'll tell you, if you want to pick up American pronunciation English, I'll give you each cheapest method. Don't go to any coaching course. Don't read books. No tapes. Nothing is necessary. You go to the market, go to the bazaar, go to the Palayam market. Buy, you know what is goli? Marbles. जिसे बच्चे खेलते हैं ना छोटे छोटे. Buy 4 or 5 of them, small one. Put it into your mouth and start speaking English. You will automatically get American pronunciation. Because the moment you have the marbles in your mouth, you'll start saying, hey man, how are you? Where are you going? Automatically you'll get American pronunciation. Where there is a way, there should be a will. So to come back, when I look at all these problems, I feel actually very sad. I feel very sad. So I want to tell you, borrowing the words from Jaishankar Prasad Asu, Gani Bhoot Pida Jyoti मस्तक में स्मृति सी छाई, घनीभूत पीड़ा ज्योति मस्तक में स्मृति सी छाई, दुर्दिन में आंसू बनकर वो आज बरसने आई. Ich danke Ihnen für Ihre große Geduld und Aufmerksamkeit. Hoffentlich haben Sie alle das Gefühl, dass Sie heute etwas Neues und etwas Nützliches gelernt haben. Ich wünsche Ihnen allen, was Sie sich wünschen. Wenn Sie weitere Fragen haben, schreiben Sie mir eine E-Mail. German Ganeshan, one word, GRMANGANESHAN @gmail.com. I'm accessible, I'm approachable, I'll answer all your questions. Even as teachers of German, you have questions about German, you need maybe some materials to teach grammar, vocabulary, whatever it is. Even if you have problems finding a girlfriend or boyfriend, write to me. I'm an expert in all kinds of things. And you'll find me on Facebook also. You're most welcome to join me there. Look for German Ganesh. And on Facebook, you'll find one more page called 2 pages, Students of Ganeshan. You can go and join the group. Some 650 students, my students from all over the world, wherever I've been teaching, they have formed that group. Do a little bit of networking. And there's one more page on Facebook. Whenever you feel depressed, you feel sad, you need not go and buy a whiskey bottle. Keep the bottle for me till I come. Go and see on Facebook a page called Swami Dukkhananda. The Swami Dukkhananda puts there spiritual messages, philosophical messages that will also help you to get out of your negative mood. If you want to meet Swami Dukkhananda, you need not look for him. Like they said in Hindi, Mujh kyo kya dhoonde re bande, main to tere paas mein. I am Swami Dukkhananda. Thank you very much and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful, thought-provoking presentation which you have made. Actually, I think it is a pain you have unleashed from your heart to the audience regarding the German language learning process in India. Not only German and English also, I hope that. Actually, you have stated the points. We are working for the industry. That is, die alle Regierungen haben ihre Macht verloren. So die Unternehmen entscheiden, was sollen wir studieren, was sollen wir machen. So we are out here also, universities are always thinking about, we have a technopark, a 50-acre land we have given from the university, nearly 850 acres we have, the Raja has given the university. So 50 acres given to the technopark. So companies are entscheiden, sie Unternehmen entscheiden, was sollen wir unterrichten here. So we are getting the questions from the state and all the authorities, how much revenue you have generated from the corporate training. So this is a UGC NAC accreditation, we have a question. Wie viel Geld haben Sie schon bekommen mit Unterricht, haben Sie schon mit dieser Corporate Leute unterrichtet? So das ist eine Frage haben wir. Das ist unsere existenzielle Probleme, ich denke. So and I want to add here one point that you have raised. I think when I have gone to the German website regarding the Anerkennung in Germany to get a job, for the, especially now, so many opportunities for the nursing communities, Germany, doctors, engineers. But German website, when you look at that, they are suggesting only the certificate knowing German B2 level, able to B2 levels of Gode certificate and TELAC and OSD certificate from Austria. And I think it was not possible to find any certificate German university also. The knowledge which you have earned from the German universities is also approved in Germany to accredit or get a recognition for your degree. So everybody is doing the business. So that is why we are getting a kind of tremendous trouble here. And we in Kerala University German department, after joining in 2019, I started the second month itself to start the A1 to B1, B2 courses on par with the CFRL model. And we are following the exact pattern of the TELAC. So we are also forced to do the business that I have told the Regierung haben ihre Markt verloren. So that questions are always coming. How much income you have generated through consultancy service. So we are forced to equip our students on par with the demand of the industry, not on par with the society's demand. So there we are not able to perform in a better manner to give the education. Only just equip the students to tune with the demand of the industry. They are providing, they are the deciders, they are the power mongers, and they are the ultimate authority of the university. Die Unternehmen haben schon die Macht genommen oder sie haben schon die Macht ergreifen und sie kontrollieren die ganze Welt. That is the problem, ich denke. So I have a serious question because we have so many people from all over the world, and I want to put my question. I don't know why the Germany, because the Maxwell Bhavan, they are spreading the language across the globe. Their certificate is only valid. In Germany, they say, when you check it that, Anerkennung, because my niece, my niece is a nurse and she's studying now the B2 level. So she asked me that, why you people are not offering such courses in your university? So that is why we have started. Only Gode certificate and OSD certificate and TELAC certificate. One agency recently from Kottayam, they asked us, they need teachers from German department to conduct their examination, ECL. And that is also part of the ALT. That is Association of Language Testers in Europe. They are also members. But when I checked with in Germany, I got information the ACL is also certificate is also approved. So they are spreading the business. They are spreading the business.
Yeah,
I believe that all over the world, Unternehmens haben schon.
Can I respond to you?
Yeah.
You see, as they say in German, Sie haben mir aus der Seele gesprochen. Okay. But I want to point out certain things. If colonialism was the rule by foreigners by force, about which proudly you are talking today, putting on Facebook, I'm proud to be Indian and all that. Most of these chaps who are putting there, I'm proud to be Indian, put it on Facebook, they continue to piss on the street, under any tree. Most of these guys who put, I'm proud to be Indian, never follow the traffic rules. Most of them who put, I'm proud to be Indian, are working for so-called multinational corporate companies, wearing the office uniform and going. Okay, so colonialism was the rule by foreigners by force. For me, globalization is the rule by foreigners by invitation. That's number one. Number two, yes, they are doing what they are doing, but we have to learn something. They are protecting their country. They are protecting their culture. When the English came to India, what was the entry visa they had? East India Company. What did they have? Nothing. Now, if an Indian wants to go to England, you go and see how they treat you. So, the question is, we have to learn from that. Now, let us not forget one thing. Don't misunderstand me. Take the Padmanabha Swami Koil in Thiruvananthapuram. Can I enter the temple with a shirt? Even if I'm wearing a Khadi shirt? Leave alone Van Huysen shirt? No. Why? Because we make the rule for us. We say, this is a temple. You want to enter, you should like this. Look at the Sabarimalai controversy. Why do you say women, above a particular age cannot enter the temple? Okay. So we do have these restrictions in different cultures. I'm not debating that, right or wrong. That's a different issue. Question is, You all celebrate Herman Gundert in Kerala. Ha ha ha, great Gundert. What Malayalam certificate did he do? A1, A2, B1, B2? What did he do? What about Kittal, who made the Kannada dictionary? What was his Kannada qualification? A1, A2, B1, B2? What about all the German Indologists who come to do research in India? Why can't government of India say you will get a research visa only if you have your A1 or A2 or B1, B2 in Sanskrit, and you have B1, B2 also in Hindi or in Telugu, whichever area you want to do some Indological research. We are not saying it. Why? Why? That is the Atma Vichar we have to talk about. You see? Fine. Yes, corporate is doing. You know, I could have earned a lot of money if I had gone to corporate. I said, no, I'm a teacher. Teacher's function is different for me. A teacher is not supposed to be materialistic. But there are a lot of teachers today who have credit card debts. Okay? So we have to first fix our own image first. Then only the image will have some effect. See, you cannot look like a Ravana and then say, I'm a Rama. Nobody will recognize you. You see, this is the problem. They talk of problems as if they are new to us. They're not new. These are all colonial problems brought to us. You know, climate protection. We always protected our climate. We never did mountaineering in India because mountain is holy. We never misused the river. We used to swim to reach the other, village. But we never used water for entertainment. We didn't have swimming pools for entertainment. We respected nature. We respected trees. Who destroyed them? Who destroyed the tigers in our country and the lions? Ayyappan sits on a tiger. He takes care of it. They destroy it. Then they come and tell you must protect your tiger. You must talk about post-colonialism, deconstruction. What are we doing? That's the biggest question. I have my answer, but you look for your answer. That's what I will say as Swami Dukhananda.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, Salman has some question.
Sure.
Salman, could you please ask it rather than putting it in the word text?
Salman,
Yeah.
we are waiting for you. Where are you?
Actually,
Yes. Ask your question.
you are not
Salman,
audible.
We
You are
can't
not
hear
audible.
you. We can't hear you.
Not audible, not audible.
We cannot hear you, Salman. You have to switch on the microphone.
You are muted. You are muted.
If he can look at us, at least we can tell him maybe. Salman, look at me. Can't hear. Hello. See, let Salman come in. The meanwhile, I'll tell you. You see my English? I never use these fashionable terms like audible, audio. No, I simply say switch on your microphone. You know, this is like in Chennai, two ladies met. One Malayali mami from Palghat, one Tamil mami, Malayali, Palghat, one from Chennai. They bought a flat. First conversation. So the Palghat mami asked the Madras mami, "Unga husband enna pandறாரு? What is your husband doing?" The Madras mami said, "Oh, my husband, engineer," very proudly. Then the Madras mami asked the Palghat mami, "Your husband?" The Palghat mami said in Tamil, "Auditor." Tamil mami said, "Ayyo pavam." Because what the Malayali mami went was auditor, with the Palghat pronunciation auditor, but auditor means Tamil, he ran away. Auditor. So that's language. Salmanji, where are you? Kya ho raha hai?
Actually,
We
may
can't
I
hear you.
may I
Yeah,
interrupt?
read the question
Yeah,
what he wrote.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. It is written, ich bin ihrer Meinung in vielerlei Hinsicht, aber man darf dabei nicht außer Acht lassen, dass zu dieser Zeit die Gruppendynamik im Unterricht sich auch geändert hat. Wir haben zurzeit eine ganz andere Demografie im Unterricht. Beispielsweise die Lehrer aus der ersten Generation ohne Englischkenntnisse oder eine gewisse Klassenzugehörigkeit. Die klassischen Lehrer sind manchmal auch nicht gut genug ausgerüstet für diese Herausforderung. Was für eine Lösung kann man finden?
Nein, die Lösung ist, die Lehrer müssen sich bemühen. Es gibt keinen Unterschied. Okay, Salman, can you hear me? Nod your head. Can you hear me? Okay. देखिए सलमान जी, अगर मुल्ला आपके घर में बैठ के नमाज सुनाता है आपको, you will say his Arabic pronunciation should be correct. अगर वो मस्जिद में दूर में बैठ के करेगा, कुछ भी बोल सकता है? There's no excuse. You know, a Pandit cannot come home and do a Ganapati Homam for me and he does not pronounce the Sanskrit mantras correctly. I want him to pronounce them correctly. अगर वो आज ऑनलाइन में पूजा कर रहा मेरे साथ, उसका मतलब थोड़ी वो मनमानी करेगा. He can talk anything. So that is not. Technology changes, but we have to adapt the technology according to our need. And we should be able to do that. So just because you are teaching online language, there is no excuse that you can't be effective. You see? So that is the problem, basically. If you want to do something, we should be able to do it. That's what I look at.
Am I audible
It's like,
now?
yeah. See, it is like looking at a drama in a theater and watching a movie. But the actor has to play well. So the drama fellow cannot say, नहीं, movie में अच्छे कर सकते हैं, camera अच्छा है, मेरा तो आंगन टेढ़ा है. He can't say that. You see? I hope I understood your question. If not, please.
But what I mean, maybe I can rephrase it a bit if I'm allowed to.
Ja,
I will
sure.
not take a lot of time. Also, damit, was ich meine, eigentlich ist dann diese ganze andere Dynamik im Unterricht, also im Sinne von Studenten, die wir jetzt haben. Das heißt, dass es gibt Leute oder die Lehrer ihrer Generation zum Beispiel haben uns auch mehrmals gesagt, dass damals war die Lage schon viel besser und es gab bessere Studenten zum Beispiel im Unterricht und die Lage wird allmählich im Laufe der Zeit verschlechtert. Ne? Wir bekommen diese Idee mehrmals von den Lehrern.
Okay.
Und dabei habe ich auch gesehen, dass was nicht dann im Gespräch sowieso mal erwähnt wurde, dass die Leute, die dann jetzt zum Unterricht kommen, sind auch oder gehören zur ersten Generation von Lernern. Die haben bis jetzt gar keine Englischkenntnisse gehabt. Sie kommen nicht von Konventschulen oder zum Beispiel, sie haben also manchmal auch keine gute Kenntnisse in irgendwelchen anderen Sprachen. Ne? Das sehen wir auch. Und das manchmal hat einen gewissen Einfluss auf diese ganze Qualität von Studenten, die dann später raus zur Industrie gehen zum Beispiel. Ich bin völlig Ihrer Meinung, wenn Sie sagen zum Beispiel, dass Industrie dabei auch eine Rolle gespielt hat, also inwiefern wir das Problem lösen können zum Beispiel. Aber also in Delhi zum Beispiel, wo ich auch selber studiert habe, sehe ich auch sehr oft, dass früher nur Kinder aus einer gewissen Klassenzugehörigkeit zum Beispiel studiert haben. Ne? Oder von bestimmten Konventschulen, die Gelegenheit gehabt haben, Deutsch überhaupt zu lernen. Ne? So, und jetzt haben wir Leute aus Bihar und an allen verschiedenen Ecken der Welt, die das erste Mal im Leben überhaupt etwas studiert haben in einer Uni in Delhi zum Beispiel. Und das finde ich auch, das hat eine gewisse Rolle zu spielen in diesem ganzen Diskurs.
Ja, ich will darauf reagieren. Aber erste Frage, Salman, sind Sie von der JNU?
Ich habe dort, ich war da einmal.
Ja, richtig. Sehen Sie, woher weiß ich das? Dass Sie von der JNU sind. Also, Frage ist, ich habe nicht gesagt, ich bin nicht so ein alter Typ. Ich bin 74 Jahre jung, okay? Ich habe nie gesagt, damals waren die Lehrer viel besser und die Studenten waren nicht gut. Das habe ich nicht gesagt. Das Problem heute ist, ja, damals waren die Studenten schwach, auch wenn sie von Convent School gekommen sind. Die Lehrer waren stark. Aber heute, die Studenten sind smart und die Lehrer sind nicht begabt. Das ist meine Argumentation. Okay? Was ich meine ist, egal ob Sie eine Studenten aus einer privilegierten Schicht Deutsch unterrichten oder ob Sie Studenten aus einer Unterschicht Deutsch unterrichten, Deutsch bleibt Deutsch. Die Aussprache bleibt gleich. Okay? See, we have this problem. You will see if some teacher is teaching in a convent school, he thinks he will have to say, oh, well, children, today we are going to read an English poem. Okay? And the same guy, when he's teaching in Bihar, he thinks the student won't understand that kind of English. Huh? Then he tells them, yeah, boys, today we will all read one English poem. Why? As a teacher, you have to deliver the same good. You're talking about industry. Industry says, send us qualified, capable people. It is the job of the teacher to produce them. Ask yourself honestly, I'm talking about German because I know German. It applies to all the other courses. How many universities in India today where a BA degree is being awarded in German, French, Russian, Spanish, they are teaching these students, even accepting it, industry, what the industry needs. How many of these after the BA can write an email in German? How can they write a letter in German? How many of them can talk to the customer service in German? No. Ask them about realism, Walter Benjamin's theory of translation, history of German literature. To put it in a mild American word, this is the kind of bullshit we are teaching our students. They don't need it. If you are changing with the times, see, पहले जमाने में सलवार कमीज बनाओ बोल के वो लाके कपड़े देती थी टेलर को. आज वही लड़के आके बोलते जीन्स बना दो. और उसको आप ही थोड़ी सलवार कमीज बना के देंगे. तो आप जीन्स बनाना सीखो. अगर आप जीन्स नहीं बना दे सकते, नहीं बनाना चाहते, तो टेलर का जॉब छोड़ दो. See, that is my problem. I took care of each and every student in my life, believe me. If you don't believe me, I'll send you a list of my students, talk to them. Many of my students who came from a lower middle class family, they all grew up in life with the German we taught in Hyderabad, not only me. And they achieved bigger position. They are earning much more money than what I do today. So ideology alone does not help. That's why I said theory lehrt, praxis belehrt. You see, that's a problem. Yes, if a Bihari student wants to learn German, I'll give more attention to him. I'll point out him what are his pronunciation problems. I will not ridicule him in front of the other fellow who may be from a convent class, because if I ask the Bihari boy something about Pataliputra, ask him about Buddha, ask him about Saranath, I'm sure he will be able to give me in chaste Bihari Hindi excellent information. A convent, anglicized, Anglo-Indian educated boy will not be able to tell you anything. Shame on them. I'm constantly fighting against them also. The Indian teacher of German should know also about India. I can give you a test. I can send you a test for German teachers, which I have prepared about India. Honestly, sit down alone and do it, send it back to me. Not only you. You see, without a base in our own culture, we cannot talk about another culture. पहले समझो अपनी बीबी कितनी खूबसूरत है, या बाद में पड़ोस की जो बीबी है उसकी तारीफ करो. You see, mother tongue is your eyes. Every other language is only contact lens. But what we are doing now is we are implanted contact lens. आंखों को पीछे दबा दिए बस. That is what is paining me at the moment. But in any case, if you are in Delhi, when I come to Delhi, we will meet together, okay? And we'll talk a lot, okay? I think our conversation should continue one-to-one. You seem to be a very interesting personality. I want to talk to you, okay? मैं आपको मेरी मन की बात खोल के बताऊंगा, दिल की बात भी बताऊंगा. ठीक है? मैं तैयार हूं, आप भी तैयार हो जाओ. Thank you.
Yes. Radhika, you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. I'm Radhika. So my question is,
Radhika,
yeah.
can you put on your video? Can I see you?
Actually, sir, I have some lighting issues, so that's why I have switched off my video.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So my question is, Actually, it's a question from what my our HOD Srikumar sir had said. The balance of a question. Uh, the thing is, like he said, whenever we go for any German jobs or anything, we go for German related job opportunities or higher studies abroad in Germany. What they ask is for a B1, B2 course or A1, A2 course level certificate is what they ask for. In fact, even our government, we had our Kerala government had a opportunity for German teachers. They have opened the opportunity for job opportunities for German teachers. So in that also, what they asked is as a qualification, what they asked is a certificate from Goethe. It was specifically mentioned a B2 certificate from Goethe or ODE. That is what they asked. So most of the institutions are seeking German teachers or even the for higher studies also what they demand is B1, B2 certificate. Whereas, as far as I know, most of the PG courses in India, German PG courses in India are affiliated to German universities, right, sir? So why such a level test, or why do they ask for B1, B2 course when we are doing a PG course in this language?
Yeah, I'll answer that. You see, there are various ways of looking at it. Number one, they have every right to ask what they want. Okay?
Okay.
As they say in American English, you can't do a shit about it.
Okay.
It's their country, their condition. Okay? Second thing, that's why I said, Padmanabha Swami Koil, they say, you cannot wear a shirt, you cannot wear a shirt. Either you wear it or you don't wear it. It's your choice. But if you are an Indian who is supposed to be very, very clever, you know, as clever as a Chinese, I'm not talking about other people.
Okay.
Your attitude should be. Radhika, what is the German course you have done till now? What have you done till now in German?
I have doing my certificate course.
Okay, you are the beginning, right? Okay.
Yes.
My question is very simple. If you have done an advanced diploma, a traditional advanced diploma in an Indian university, if you have done a BA in German in an Indian university, if you have done a MA in German in an Indian university, okay? Now they are saying we want to see a B2 certificate.
Oh, yes.
Clever strategy is just go. Take the B2 exam as an external exam, get that paper, rub it under their nose and get into Germany. That's all. See, you go to a normal, where do you live, Radhika? Which city of Kerala?
I'm from Trivandrum, the capital city.
You are in Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, my wife lived near the All India Radio, Jagadi. Okay, I know Thiruvananthapuram in and out. See, in Thiruvananthapuram, you go to a normal, small Malayali roadside restaurant. You want to eat appam. He gives you appam, right? Okay. You will eat it with your fingers?
Yes.
Okay. Starting with Muscat Hotel, which was the only big hotel those days. Go to any 5-star hotel in Thiruvananthapuram. You order your appam. That fellow will come in a full uniform. Put it as if doing a great thing. Put the appam in front of you. Give you fork and knife. Now my question is, how are you eating your appam? Do you have guts to eat your 5-star hotel appam with fingers? Do you do that? I do it. You don't? Okay?
Maybe not.
No, see why? Why? So that you will accept, right? But when they ask you B1, B2, you get upset. Okay? Varaka bhaji. Varaka bhaji, you eat with tenga chutney. And lick up your fingers. Beautiful. Now, why are you using for varaka bhaji tomato ketchup today? Why? Where is your Malayali culture? Kerala culture? Indian culture? Mahan Bharat? Where is it?
Yeah.
So when you are compromising on little things, okay?
Yes.
This is called Samadhana Vedadandam. Read Chanakya's Arthashastra.
Okay.
There are various ways of handling a problem. If I may ask you, I know this question is not allowed, but if you don't want to answer, don't tell me. Are you married?
Yes, sir, I'm married.
Yes. You are successfully handling your mother-in-law?
Yeah, I know it.
So how do you do that? If your mother-in-law says, when we do idiyappam or we do puttu, we use only this machine, not that machine. Okay, you are used to something else. What do you do in the situation? Mother-in-law should be happy. Use that. What do you lose? If mother-in-law says for idli, you know, we will make only vengaya sambar, onion sambar. We will not make any other sambar. But in your house, you make some other sambar also.
Okay.
Or she says, we will only tenga chutney. In your house, you make inji chutney. What do? So this is the adaptability the industry should teach you. Corporate should teach you that.
Okay.
That's what corporate wants people who are flexible, who are adaptable, who will adjust to situations. You have to imagine you are acting in a drama.
Okay.
You are taking part in a play. Okay?
Yes.
It can be Kathakali, it can be Mohiniyattam, normal drama.
Mm-hmm.
The role given to you is you are a great actress as Sita. Okay. One day they call you for the drama and tell you have to play the Kaikeyi or Shurpanaga. You will do it, no?
Yes.
So, if your university certificates are, see there, your B1, B2 is Kaikeyi or Shurpanaga. Do
Yes.
it. See,
No,
when
so
the
what
visa,
I was.
see, the visa officer says, they have prescribed the particular kind of photos. You follow that? What is the
Yeah.
Indian habit? My photo from high school certificate, I'll pull out the same photo, fix it in my intermediate certificate. Same photo I'll fix in my BA certificate. Same photo I'll fix in my Jadagam and send it to boy's family. You can't do it with the consulate. They give you what background, the photo, what is the size. We follow all that, no? So,
Yes, sir.
there is a beautiful English proverb. Beggars cannot be choosers. So, if you are ideologically disturbed about something, follow the ideology. You'll have to forego the chance. That's all.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Is what we call in Tamil, Kulukum asa, Misikum asa. You got to have both. See, when you're drinking your kanji, what is cool, your mustache get, sticky. You decide what you want. You want the mustache or you want the kanji? So, B1, B2 is, to put it in our beautiful Malayalam idiom, you have to look at it as a Nayar Pudicha Pulival.
Okay.
But you are the Nayar. So, don't let the Puli win the race. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you,
meet
sir.
you when you come to Trivandrum. We'll meet. I'm coming.
Yeah, sure, sir. You're welcome to our department.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now the time is
Yeah. Fine.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Yes.
Sir, first of all, I would like to thank you for highlighting such issues and problems which we are actually facing today. I'm Rishika, Assistant Professor in Department of Russian, University of Kerala. Sir, whatever you said and talked about, I'm totally agree. And I noted down one of the question that don't you think that somewhere it's a system failure that teachers who are appointed in the universities or schools, for that matter, I'm talking about teachers of foreign languages, that they themselves don't know thoroughly about the language, and then they teach, and then students, for example, they ask students just to just to mug up, just to learn, memorize, or but foreign language cannot be memorized. It's a concept should be cleared, right?
Correct.
If any grammar pattern is there or
Yeah.
a grammatical structure is there, so that is the I also face. So I studied in IFLU, then I studied in Moscow. So this is the biggest problem I also see in here in, especially in India. So our teaching methodology, methodology is not up to the mark. That's I agree, but somewhere it's I think that it's a totally a failure of our system, because the way teachers are being appointed today, like they have gone through some interview, they are going through interview and all, and they are appointed, and then it's totally depend on the authority who is appointing.
Correct. Correct.
So I think that's the that also came to my mind when you were talking about all the problem. So yes, so and this continues, like if teacher is not up to the level, then students will be like that. they will be,
Yes.
I mean, somewhere it's not their fault, but they're being taught by the such teachers, right?
See,
So
that's absolutely correct. Rishika, when did you study in FLO? Which years?
sir, I completed master degree in 2014.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came to US in 2007. After 7 years only, I came back to India. That's why our historical meeting did not take place. Otherwise, we could have bought from Tarnaka one bottle of vodka and we could have enjoyed the evening. So, you're right, very right. The system has lot of failures and loopholes. We are not talking about the real problems, but we are talking about artificially created problems. And that is what pains me also. You see? Because, see, nobody told you in Moscow, every day, रोज रात को एक बॉटल वोदका पी लो, रशियन आ जाएगा. कहाँ से आएगा रशियन? हाँ? गाना गा सकते, Russian songs you can sing after vodka, that I know, but not more than that. So my point is, as a teacher, whatever the system is, we'll have to somewhere even silently fight against the system a little. We need not totally compromise. See, you go and read Boris Pasternak's Dr. Zhivago. See how Dr. Zhivago fought against the system till the end?
Yes, yes.
That is how Gandhi fought against the system. So system changers are those who will fight against the system. इसका मतलब नहीं है कि you will have to go around start telling all your other teachers around seniors, अरे तू बेवकूफ है, तेरे को क्या मालूम? ऐसा नहीं बोलना है. ऐसा नहीं बोलना है. ठीक है? See, I'll tell you a strong thing. In Hyderabad में हम बोलते हैं, since you speak Hindi, I believe, right?
Yes, yes,
हम हैदराबाद में बोलते हैं, हम खुद बनाते रहते हैं शेर शायरी हैदराबाद में. जैसे एक है, don't mind the word, it's a typical Hyderabadi language. चूतियों की कमी नहीं है गालिब, चूतियों की कमी नहीं है गालिब, एक ढूंढे तो हजार मिलते. That is the world in which we are living. You're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. The teacher should change. Then only the education will change. If you as a teacher, you're not okay with your own linguistic competence, okay, what will you teach? What are you teaching?
yes.
You know? And that's why, I got a message from one of my Bengali friends. See, language, you should know how to use it properly. My Bengali friend sent a message to me saying, there's a new babe coming. I thought he's getting a child. A new wave coming, Bengali English, babe coming. They said they sent a Bengali gentleman to England as our ambassador. He met the Queen, New Year Eve. You know what the Queen did? Queen took his documents and said, welcome to England. I wish you a happy New Year. You know what our Bengali Babu told the Queen? Shame to you. And midnight, they all rose their glasses. Since you're about 21, I'm saying this. And all screamed the British way, God save the Queen. What the Bengali Babu said, I won't tell you. I'm a gentleman. So that you are absolutely right. I agree with you. And appointments are not done purely on merit. That's true.
Yeah.
I know that I've been a vice chancellor, but even though I tried to change the system as much as I could, that you can find out what kind of vice chancellor I was. English lecturer. Some oldies will come in the committee. And job is for English teaching. They know nothing about English teaching techniques. They learned that Shakespeare, Milton, Keats. वो बुड्ढा बैठेगा selection committee में. Candidate को पूछेगा. So, candidate is eager to talk about communicative method, translation method, nothing, no chance.
And
Have you
also,
read Shakespeare? Have you read Shakespeare? The boy will say, yes, sir. What? The poor guy had his BR, MS syllabus, Hamlet. Acha, you know only Hamlet. You want to teach English? Do you know Othello? The boy doesn't need all that. He's going to teach English as a language. You see? And then height of it, the old man will say, have you read my book on Shakespeare? As if it is Quran or Bhagavad Gita. Why? You are absolutely right. I agree with you.
and also when I have compared while I was
Rashia, may I interrupt you? Actually, because of the time shortage, many presenters are awaiting. Dear Professor, thank you so much.
Hrishika, send me an email.
Yeah.
Send me your phone number. We will talk hours together.
We have very short of time. Very sorry to interrupt you, sir. And,
no problem. No problem.
Thank you so much for your
thank you.
patience and your participation.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And we move to
go
the
ahead.
next presenter.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's very interesting. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we are moving forward to the paper presentation. The first person is Samikya Dash and Dr. Soumya Jose, National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh, representing the paper Body Shaming and its Counter Discourse, and Appraisal of Advertisements. I welcome you both.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all. So I'll just start my presentation before I move on. Sir, I guess I just have 10 minutes, right?
Yes, below
Yes, yes,
around
yes.
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
7 minutes,
Oh,
okay. Okay, fine. I'll just try to sum up with that.
okay.
I hope you all are able to see my presentation.
Yeah, it's getting loaded. Yeah, fine.
Okay, okay. So, hello everyone. Today, the topic that I'm going to discuss on is advertisement and social media, an open ground for body shaming. So, like here, I'm going to talk that how, like since pre-colonial times, there has always been a particular image, body image that has been appreciated rather than something else, and people have been victims of body shaming for that. And coming to the year of Gen Zs and millennials that we are living in, it is basically we see a lot of victims of body shaming, and that is because of the cultural and societal conditioning, politics of body size, gender, and beauty standards propagated by beauty industry, and as well as the advertisements and social media that reinforces certain beauty standards. So this results in eating disorders, body dysmorphic disorders, and there are teenagers who are very insecure about their the bodies nowadays. If they take a selfie, then they do a lot of filtration to it before uploading it, and this in a certain way like shatters their confidence, and they are more vulnerable and conscious before the audience whenever they are on social media platform, and they always have a desire in their mind to achieve a perfect body, and this desire that is there in their mind leads to self depreciation of their own body image, and they idealize thinness. So today, the main important points that I'm going to focus on are how certain advertisements are deconstructing these beauty standards. So there are various brands like Dove, Urbanic, Joy, Viva, Preganews, Mia, and H&M who have literally changed the narrative of advertising. So through these advertisements, they are taking in people of various structures, sizes, body types, body color, and even the different kind of hairstyles they have, different kind of fashion sense they have. They are taking it all together in order to advertise their concept, and this is a kind of inclusiveness that we need more in media and in advertisements. So it is a kind of narrative advertising, and fashion is changing nowadays. So there are certain advertisements like these which have come up with promoting a sense of community where people come together and they share their own fashion sense, their own ideologies, their own trends. And Dove, for an example, has stated a lot of campaigns, and it provides a counter discourse to the body ideal, that is thinness, that was previously there. As Fam rightly states that fashion blogging nowadays disrupts racist hierarchies of beauty, authority, and knowledge production, and it promotes a sense of identity. So if we look, even if you look at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, or Quora for that matter, all these platforms have included a lot of marginalized fashion icons in order to develop certain beauty standards that previously was not there. So there are two parts to my paper. First part is my size, my choice. So it is very important for all of us to understand that a person's body size has nothing to do with a person's health. So body size is an individual's prerogative. So there are all these advertisements have a lot of major campaigns. Like if you look at Dove, it has an advertisement called "Stop the Beauty Test," where there is a mother and daughter who are coming together and they are stating a problem that being fat or being a particular body type has nothing to do with your beauty, because beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and everybody deserves love. So, and there is also a third campaign that Dove did, that was reverse selfie, that when a person has taken and added all filtration to a perfect picture, and it goes back to how it was originally, and you were beautiful the way you were in the original picture. So that's what Dove shows in its like in its campaign. Then all these advertisements have rewritten the fashion codes. Like if you look at like I'll just like quickly mention this, that if you look at urbanic advertisement, then we see that urbanic has taken women of various colors and various body sizes, and even women with body hair, and like visually it has been represented that these women with different like unique abilities and unique body structures and shapes have a kind of fashion sense. So fashion comes for everybody. It is not just for one typical body size or shape. So if you look at another campaign by Mia, it is a jewelry brand which shows women of various colors, sizes, complexions, hair types, and fashion senses. Even if you look at Joy, a moisturizer brand, it has taken Bharati as the brand ambassador. Bharati is a comedian, and she is having a corporeal body type, and this is a big blow for the beauty standards, as previously they were just taking people with 36, 24, 36 body type. Moving on to the second part of my paper, that talks about body positivity. Why is it so important? Body positivity is so important, and media has its responsibility, or social media as well as advertisements have a responsibility to carry on this body positivity, because advertisement is one of the most important channel of communication and information, and it should include more diversity, not just diversity in the sense that there would be people with the same body image throughout, but a diversity in content, including people of various race, colors, gender, sizes, and physical appearances. So this actually propagates a notion of beauty in all shapes and sizes. So as Cash and Diegel perfectly pointed out, that body image is a multidimensional concept which manifests itself in various ways, and it can manifest in different colors, different body types, different hairstyles, etc., fashion senses, encompassing perpetual cognitive, behavioral, and affective domain. So body imagery is something that affects a lot of other sectors of a person's life, maybe mental, psychological, psychological nature of a person will be affected, behavioral nature of a person would be affected, eating disorders may happen. So all these things are very important in a person's life. So media has to focus and be more sensitive towards it. Finally, I'll be concluding the entire paper with certain important points, that all body types are important, and all body types are unique. Second is these body types has to be showed in a positive light in media in order to curtail unhealthy dieting, eating disorders, needless cosmetic surgeries, and extreme exercising that generally the Gen Zs and millennials are going for. And there must be positive body images, because it helps in insulating oneself from depression, anxiety, sexual dissatisfaction, and low self-esteem that is found generally in all the teenagers nowadays, most of the teenagers nowadays. And the new generation advertisements and as well as new generation media should accept diversity and create a space that is more inclusive. Since most of the content nowadays is visual, it is digital, so it should be more inclusive rather than alienating some. Like advertisements or media should market an ideology that has the power to change people's perspective. So it should not just market a product or sell a product, but it should also market an ideology that has the capacity to change people's perspective. Because once you look at an ad, it has unknowingly or knowingly some effect on you. So that's all. I would like to conclude now. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask. I guess I didn't take much time, sir. I have finished in the time frame that
Yes,
you have
yes.
given, I guess.
Please conclude.
Yes, I have already concluded, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yes. If
Then
anybody has any question, please feel free to.
that you will after this after completing all the papers of all the participants. Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you
That you
so
will
much,
discuss.
sir. Thank you everyone for
Then
patiently.
Dr. Soumya Jose.
She is my co-author,
Okay.
so I presented the paper.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
The next participant is Niyandri M. Niyandri M, PhD scholar at HCU. Her title is Stitching Out Sadar, Renaissance of the Bharatanatyam Aharya. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Thank
7
you,
minutes.
everyone.
You have
Yes, 7 minutes. Yes, sure. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and start the presentation now. Yes. Is my presentation visible? Hello.
Yes.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes.
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 Continue.
So since we're running short of time, I would like really zip through the presentation. So my topic is stitching out Sadar, Renaissance of the Bharatanatyam Aharya. So for a little bit of a history, or to put Aharya into context, Aharya is simply costumes or any physical embellishment that enhances a performance, especially in Indian classical dance. It has been referred to in many Sanskrit treatises, and I'm not going to go into it now. So, like any other Indian classical dance, Bharatanatyam has its own unique aharya, but also the history of Bharatanatyam aharya is also a very complex and very complicated one, which cannot be put into a linear, phase. So, to give a perspective of the Tamil society and the Tamil history, in order to understand the costume of Bharatanatyam, which is the dance form of the Tamil speakers and the native Tamil people. Tamil Nadu has always been into seafaring and naval merchandise, and so this has been reflected in the this cultural exchange that the Tamil kings had with the Western rulers, have also reflected in the kind of attire that they adorned, and also the attire that the performers of the dance form of the land adorned. So we have a lot of cotton and silk weaving centers in Tamil Nadu, not from now, even from the Sangam period. Sadar, which is just a generic term given to the dance form of Tamil Nadu, has been known by many, many terms such as Kuthu, Chinnamelam, Dasiyatam, and later Sadar. So we are going to use only the term Sadar here because the format of Sadar, which was practiced in the Nayaka and the Maratha, rulers' periods, is the most resembles the most to the body movement of what Bharatanatyam has in the present day. So looking at the history of Sadar, we can see that it was in its peak during the Nayaka period and the Maratha period, which was at its pinnacle, because the Marathas were great connoisseurs of art, and they supported Sadar, which was the dance form of the courtesans. The courtesans also gave private performances for the royal household and also public performances. And a lot of it has been documented because the Maratha period also overlapped with the British, coming in, and they also have a lot of company paintings and photographs, documenting the costumes. So we have the Sadar performers, as you can see in this slide, wearing, silk and tissues, and there's this specific Maratha silk called Tuya, and all of these materials are heavy materials, and it kind of give a bulky look to the Sadar performers. by the end of the Maratha rule and the beginning of the British reign over India, we see that the British were highly against the public performance of these courtesans who were also into kind of like a prostitution. So the British people had to, like really come in, and they stopped the dancers from giving public performances, which was the only way that these performers knew how to earn their bread. So they started looking for other avenues of performances, which was, of course, private performances, and also this kind of a sexuality in the performers' life was also a parallel line running through the history of Sadar and its performers. So once the public performances were cut, the Sadar dancers had to opt for more private performances, which was of erotic and sensual nature, and which kind of brought a tarnishing to the image of the Devadasis and the community of Devadasis. And therefore, in the early 1930s, where India was going through a nationalist struggle in establishing their nationalist identity, it was decided, a bill was proposed to abolish the Devdasi Act, the Devdasi system itself, and that the practice of the Devdasi system has to be stopped in any avenue that it was being practiced in. So this led to the Devdasi's art also being on the risk of being erased from the history of Tamil Nadu and India itself. At this point, we have reformers who thought that the art of the Devdasi should not be, put away. In the struggle to establish a cultural identity for the country, the art should be preserved, and that's where we have Rukmini Devi. I'm not going to go into her history since we are running short of time. Rukmini Devi came from a theosophical background, and she was introduced to various culture from around the world, and she happened to learn Sadar, and which was the art form of the Devdasis, and she reconstructed it in a way that she thought would be apt to the nationalist idea of the country. So Theosophical Society was then led by Annie Besant, and who was also a forerunner in the country's independence struggle. So we can understand her idea of aesthetics as being both nationalistic and also theosophist. So she came in and she reconstructed not only the body of the body movement in the dance vocabulary, but also the aharya. As you can see, what she's wearing is totally different from what the traditional practitioners wore. What she also did was she changed the dance vocabulary, the movement pattern, she changed the costuming, she changed the stage setting, the makeup, all of it to suit what was the idea of a cultural history that we held, the idea of a cultural memory of the long lost glory of the country, which was, in her own words, taken from the sculptures of Apsaras in our temples and all of that. In her own words, she mentions that Sadar was inartistic, it was crude, and it was comical. So what she did was, with the help of fellow theosophists, she introduced the stitching of a costume. Until then, it was draping of a sari, which was the costume of a normal Tamil person, a sari, which was being represented by the artist of that society. But what Rukmini Devi did was she brought in the stitching of the sari, she brought in makeup that had to suit the proscenium, and this makeup was, of course, it was inspired by the Kathakali makeup. And what she did was she took away all of this, but it was also justified that the newly revived form needed a new representative that was a stark opposite from its predecessor, who the nationalists wanted to erase from the collective cultural memory of the public. And also this new form was being focused on the higher strata of the society, the learned, the educated Brahmin girls, who Rukmini Devi wanted to come and learn the art form, since the traditional practitioners were literally obliviated from the society. So this introduced new stitching patterns, new fabrics, and new stages, new proscenium that the Sadar usually was a part of the society, a part of the public, but now it was set on a proscenium, it was set on a different stage, it was set for a different viewing audience. So all of this assisted in creating a new identity for Bharatanatyam, but what it also did was take away from the traditional practitioners one of the last tangible tangible materialistic thing that they held close to their culture and their heritage, that was the only way for them. Because now Bharatanatyam is open to people who are taking it as a hobby. Even during Rukmini Devi's time, it was taken as a second source, but it was not a source of income anymore. Bharatanatyam was not a source of income anymore. Bharatanatyam had to be cut from the despised history of its predecessor Sadar, and it was given a total new identity. But what it also did was take away from the practitioners and take away everything, their movement pattern, their art, the actual cultural history of the practitioners was taken away, and the new form of Aharya that Rukmini Devi gave Bharatanatyam was one of the last things that was taken away from the Devdasi practitioners, and that is the paper, and that's how it is concluded.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will ask question after this completion of this session. Okay. The next participant is Shamili S, research scholar, University of Kerala. Her topic is related to feminism in the 21st century. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. My topic is feminism in 21st centuries. Then feminism is a range of movements and ideologies that aim to express and establish the political and economical, personal and social equality of the sexes. A lot of studies have then the feminism integrated the position that societies prioritize the male point of view. Hello.
Sorry.
And that women are treated unjustly within those societies. Efforts to change that include fighting against gender stereotypes and establishing educational, professional, and interpersonal prospects and outcomes for women that are equal to those for men. Feminist movements have campaigned and continue to campaign for women rights, including the right to vote, holding public office, then work and equal pay, then receive education, enter contracts, have identical rights with marriage and maternity leave. Then the feminist the history of feminism, while feminists around the world have changed in causes, goals, and intention in depending on time, culture, and country. Most Western feminist historians proclaim that all movements that work to attain women's rights should be considered feminist movements, even when they did not apply the term to themselves. Some other historians limit the term feminist to the modern feminist movement, that its progress, and use the label proto-feminist to designate earlier movements. Then the modern Western feminist history is conservatively split into 3 time periods or waves, each with a slightly dissimilar aims based on prior progress. First wave feminism of the 19th and the early 20th centuries focused on overturning legal inequalities and mainly addressing issues of women's suffrage. Then second wave, 1960s to 1980s, the second wave feminism brought debate to compress cultural inequalities gender norms and the role of the women in society. Then third wave feminism refers to diverse strains of feminist activity seen by third waves themselves both as persistence of the second wave and as a response to its perceived failure. Then next, the abuse of the women, sex labor in the third world countries. Here, mention about women in third world countries selling their sexual labor on those faced with the resolution or of whether or not to enter that labor market are not part of the construction of either position. They do not have means of access the pamphlet for such discourse on the forums where such a discourse takes place. Prostitute women in third world countries are not part of theoretical formulations and discussions. The women themselves and feel uncomfortable that it is still essential for us to present their stories, and the sale of women's sexual labor is at the improper of a complex economy. Then the next stage, the marriage and sexuality. This here in India and in West countries, sexuality has been a major political concern for a feminist as well as a source of divisions among them. Then, given the massive efforts that have historically been made to control female sexuality, then female sexuality and Europe to Parda in India, it is not a problematic to see why sexuality should be such a central feminist concern. This introduction momentally outlines some of the key issues that it debates, as well as identifying points of convergence and difference between Western and Indian feminist views of marriage and sexuality. Then with regard to sexuality itself, there is much collective ground between the views of Western and Indian feminists, both of whom have comforted the double standard of morality which has historically entitled men to sexual freedom denied to women. Uh, uh, Now, the contemporary criticism of feminism. Here, post-colonial feminists criticize certain ideas of Western forms of feminism, notably radical feminism, and it is not a basic postulation. In postulation and they argue that these expectations cannot so easily be applied to women for whom gender oppression comes second to, for example, racial or class oppression. Then, from the perception of some stance of feminism, as well as the men movements and theories, inequalities and stereotypes based on gender are disadvantages to both men and women, and both sexes suffer from the expectations of traditional gender roles. The rights of women of contemporary times were not granted voluntarily or out of kindness of the female. Modern woman reached her present position by force, and not through natural procedures or mutual consent or divine teachings. In reality, women are the creators and protections and destroyers, not men. All the energies of women, their intelligence and their strength and their skill are devoted to catering to the needs for men. Then I conclude the fight for feminism began in the 19th century, and according to history, The fight to women's rights is separate into four waves. I already mentioned that then the 21st century women continued to competition of equality in social and political or economic. In 21st century, where all women have the right to vote and education, many people consider that the fight for women's right or for gender equality has come to an end, and the battle has now been won. But it is far from the truth. Thought the first cultural contact of Indian society with the Western world began in 1498 AD, and all the high possibilities of learning were open to women. Then the identity sexual violence in sexual violence and the third world communities as culture were failing to recognize cultural face of sexual violence affecting mainstream white women. This is related to the overall failure to look at the behavior of white person as cultural, while always attributing the label of culture to the behavior of minority group. Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next participant is Patrick Joseph Raj, student MA German, the University of Kerala, Department of German. He's foreign languages among adolescents. Yes, Patrick.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, continue. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sharing the screen. Just a moment. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Continue. Yes.
Yes. I hope my screen is visible also. Okay. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to my presentation. My presentation is on the topic, as you can see on the screen, in this impact of globalization on learning foreign language among adolescents. So this topic is very, very closer to my heart, because there is some focus view being missing in this nation, where they are the true vision of our nations, who are adolescents actually. So what is the impact of globalization is being done among adolescents, and how are they influenced, and what are the impacts basically is what we are going to discuss. And my objective of the study is to clearly focus that how languages have been used as a strategy to reap the economic benefits of the individual as well as of the country, and also to focus what are the major challenges and barriers that adolescents are facing in this current scenario on learning a foreign language. So before going into the main topic, I would like to focus on what is globalization basically. Globalization, we have all perceptions like, okay, it is an invasion, like they are investing here, they are investing there. But what is actually globalization? To be very crisp and easy to understand, let me take an example of a coffee. We all drink a coffee every day, a cup of coffee. So we know what kind of a background does coffee comes from. So we all know that India is also a good producer and the exporter of coffee. But how did it emerge? This should be a practical thinking that should be actually a practical thinking within us on everything that we are right now using. So whatever things that we are using, whatever practices that we are, whatever traditions we are following on certain basis, where have they emerged from? Why are we doing that? What is the actual background scenario behind it is what we have to think about, but we are not thinking about it. Okay, let's leave the word we and focus on the target, adolescents. Adolescents are the most influential persons in the entire world. So to focus on the adolescents, I will come to who are the adolescents and why they have to be focused a little later. But right now into the topic, what is globalization and how are they impacting our society and our family? So first, wow, when I come to a topic called foreign languages, what is the criteria for the adolescents to learn a foreign language? We all have numerous questions asking, like what kind of language you are going to learn, why are you going to learn, all kind of questions we are asking them. Why is this question not being asked? Do you love learning foreign languages? When this is a basic survey which has been conducted by me for a period of 6 months, and observing the adolescents point of view on foreign languages, which was very, very astonishing for me, because their thinking patterns are different. Learning languages according to them is basically easy, but they don't have a vision why they are learning, and what should they learn, and how they should learn. Because this is being a question mark in the entire nation, where the education system of India right now is focusing on the basic things which we are supposed to follow. Okay, if this question is answered, what is the outcome of it? Why do you think the language learning is helpful? If I ask them, there starts the disintegration among the conversation between the parents and the students. Why? Because it's helpful for my higher studies, opportunities, skills, out of interest, whatever it is. But do they really helpful? Are they really helpful for them? That's the question, basically. But the thing is that they are not being educationally, they are not being promoted on, they are not being given a correct answer why they are ever helpful for them. Language learning is something which is very, very hidden, right, in our entire educational system of India. Language has become a criteria nowadays as a second language to be taught in all schools. Now nowadays we can see a lot of schools implementing second languages to learn foreign languages. And if you ask them, okay, if I ask the student, like why are you learning language? Because I'm asked to learn. Why? It can be helpful for my higher studies. It can be helpful for my 12th standard. It can be helpful for my this, that. But is it helpful for them, for their vision, for their passion? Is still a question mark. That's why the success rate of this entire Indian education system in terms of foreign language was still 42%. It starts from the primary education, higher education, secondary education, whatever it is. We are not focusing on the vision of each and every student. Why is the foreign language being important to them? So I am here to I am here to explain that this foreign language is still being a strategy for them to analyze, or to improvise, or to reap some economic benefits of the individual. So practical understanding with the examples and scenarios are expected for adolescents teaching. So how are we going to teach them? Why? What is foreign language for adolescents in terms of teaching? So why is becoming a choice for them? Is it an option, or is it a choice? What if people doesn't have an influence on learning foreign language? We all know that we learn German, we learn French, we learn Russian because I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. What is about the people who don't have an influence of, who have a nil influence of foreign languages? What is their status? If they are pushed to learn the language, is this a question of their capability to learn the language? I also highlight something which is very important here, where the social media and entertainment plays a role. Social media and entertainment is right now is becoming a very important thing to highlight here, because everyone after this pandemic, during this pandemic and after this pandemic time, they are very prone to this social media and entertainment, where I can see that there is a large improvisation on the positive aspects of learning foreign languages, because they learn language to understand the movies. That's really have to be taught about it. as a fanboy, I am a fan of this person, I am a fan of that person, I need to learn this language. I play games. I wanted to learn. I wanted to play. I wanted to be a clan in a particular game. I wanted to play with them. So that's why I'm learning this language. Okay, fine. I'm happy that you are learning language and this is helpful for you. But how are you learning? I'm learning via YouTube. I'm learning via apps, websites. Is it really a proper learning? No. How is it helpful for you? So we always know that when a language is to be taught or language is to be learned properly. There is a method and a way of learning a language. This brings this actually tends away to next question, or the objective of my study. To the next topic will be the challenges and barriers while learning this language. So I learned this language because for that reason, okay, you learned. Then what are the basic challenges that you are facing? The challenges which I am facing is, the first challenges that I could categorize from the survey done is that interest, compulsion, and influential trading. When it is of interest, it comes to learn from the heart. We are learning languages from the heart to in order to get it in order to get it wholeheartedly and learn the language and learn the different culture about it. Compulsion factor also plays a major role. Oh, I need to score good marks in the subject. I need to score. I need to secure marks. I need to be secured. We are branding languages for learning. We are branding language learning nowadays. Influential trading is a major aspect here. My student is my friend. My friend is learning this language, so I also should learn. I'm working here in this company. I also should learn language because he has got promoted to this level and I didn't. So this is influential trading, which actually happens in our society, which we are not focusing on. So is this impact of globalization is directly into the family or society? That's a question for us to think about. Okay, so now that clearly shows why I took this target, because they are the real face, they are the real vision of our nation. It's a kind of a phase where they are transferring themselves from childhood to the adulthood, where they have to be pampered and properly guided to their vision on why is foreign language is important. So as an analysis of this entire study, I came up to a conclusion that the entire survey, from a common man point of view and also a student's point of view, how is in an impact globalization is influencing them. So nowadays you can see a lot of adolescents are influenced by so trending factors, including jeans, the wares, whatever we are wearing, the electronic gadgets that we are using. So what is the perfect scenario behind it? Well, why, from where they are analyzed, from where they are influenced? They don't have a perfect idea about the globalization factor. So this has increased the inflow of foreign investments in India. The globalization has improvised a lot, where we are getting a lot of job opportunities. But are they focusing on the unemployment aspect? Do the unemployed person really know foreign languages can also fetch them jobs? Okay. If the employment sectors, are they really focusing on that? Okay, employment sectors are nowadays also becoming an applicative oriented. Okay, I am hiring you for this particular thing and this particular skill. So what about the rest? So why are they not widened enough to to give an employment to the other people? So the impact of globalization is already started in our family, which we are not known to for a very long time. The people who have known for a very long time have properly balanced themselves. on knowing the importance of globalization and its impact. So obviously this study should have a proper suggestions of knowing where and how we should stand. These suggestions are really helpful. From these suggestions are also being a part of my survey, where it was a proper suggestion given from the parents' point of view, and also a common man point of view, and also students' point of view. Workshops to be conducted by reputed institutions on foreign languages, which is very, very important. Why is this language important, and why and how you should learn this language, approaching the languages, the strategy to learn the languages should be a greater mission, and no compulsion from parents to learn to the students should be done. No, you have to take this. No, there should be no compulsion. Language labs should be set up in schools and universities to create a friendly and a learning environment. We cannot see, very few schools and universities have a friendly environment for language learning. We should set up a lot of language labs. More practical learning methodology should be implemented, because adolescents are more prone to the learning methodologies. Interactive sessions and more job opportunities should be given to the unemployed too. Sharing the educational resources all over the world is very important for this entire study. Onto a conclusion, I would like to conclude the impact of globalization in our family is well known to us, wherein the language learning is always a hidden strategy to reap the economic benefits of the country. It's been an honor to be among you all, such accomplished individuals, and to be able to present my perspective among you. And thank you all, and have a good day.
Thank you, Patrick. Your presentation is very good, very good. It's thought-provoking that about these four languages, like how to teach and how to learn. Yes. The next participant is Sri Mani, who is also a student of the Department of Russian and German. I welcome you.
Thank.
1 minute. His topic is related to social media, political and social participation. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. Continue. Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all. Honorable Chairman, distinguished guests, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first of all, let me be grateful to Dr. Sri Kumar, Head of German Department, University of Kerala, and thankful to Dr. Anish, Assistant Professor of German Department here, for giving me an opportunity to be here to present a theme in the
Sir, slightly go through that topic. What you are? Yes.
Yeah. Topic is internet. Yeah, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. For giving me an opportunity to be here to present a theme in the international multidisciplinary webinar on media, language, and literature. As our Constitution has enshrined the fourth estate under Article 19(1)(a) to oversee the activities of legislature, executive, and the judiciary in such a manner to uphold the merits and divide of the unmerits. I have chosen a theme on social media, political and social participation. Of late, the social media is very vibrant than many other things occurring in the world. Since its inception, from the second decade of this century, it is spreading its wings to every nook and corner of the world. If you want to quote a recent important point is the merits of the social media, which also covers the cons of it. The merited areas are objectivity, quality, quantity, data collection, experimental process, ethical consideration, research methodology, evaluation, justification, and reasoning for the justification. Social media playing its role implicitly and explicitly. Most of the cases have been thrown open where on women, children, COVID affected people, vulnerable poor, and the differently abled people. One of the best merits in the recent time is the assembly election held in Kerala in 2016 and 2021. How and why it mattered is the research. And the formation of governments in Kerala by a political party twice is the importance. What the social media, namely 44 television channels and the 20 print media of Kerala, along with other languages, showing the glaring data revelations were analysis about caste and community, religion, other political and apolitical activities. Similarly, a case was there in USA where Biden winning Trump in the presidential election throws open the social media effects. Nevertheless, to say that social media uncovers the worst, covers the fake news, political polarization, social protests, and the censorship, which creates an echo chamber of a different environment. At this juncture, each person is targeted, information is shared, opinion formed, and it creates a reflection at their own. Yes, you all know what mass reaction is. It is thus very evident that the social media plays a vital role and share with the population is the contemporary world. Thank you all. I have given 5 to 7 minutes. I have finished it, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Now you have any questions related to this papers which are presented, and you have any questions to our Ganeshan sir? Sir, Ganeshan sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you explained that Vidya Dadati Vinayam. And what extent now it's possible that Vidya Dadati Vinayam is now, what's the, after this post-modernism, we are coming to this modern education and this. What
Okay.
we are,
Yes, there is a big difference between the old Indian tradition in which people were taught Vidya Datati Vinayam. The more and more you learn, the more and more modest you will be. Humility, right? That is the characteristic of your educated person, Vidwan. In today's world, you see, earlier if you look at people, take somebody like Shankaracharya. He never went and marketed itself. He didn't go from place to place, and say, hey, come, I'm a great guru. He didn't say that.
Yes.
Look at Ramana Maharishi in Tiruvannamalai. He never did it. And the old Shankaracharya in Kanchipuram Matam, he never did it. I'm not talking about the other fellows there. Okay, they are different. So, in today's world, because of Americanization, because of globalization, it has gone 360 degrees around. Today, if you are modest and humble, nobody is going to look at you. You have to market yourself.
Yes.
So you're a marketable commodity. You have to praise yourself. As they say in Hindi, khud ki tarif. See, normally in Hyderabad, in that Hyderabadi Urdu, when you want to know about the other person, like, in Tamil, you will say, "Ninga yaar, sir?" "Ninga yaar? Aap kaun hai?" In Hyderabadi kind of Urdu, we say, "Aapki tarif," which basically means praise yourself. Tell me who you are. Today, the entire corporate world works only on that. You want a job, you will have to market yourself. You have to sell yourself. You're like a product. You have to show them what a good product you are. What are the best product you are. It's like in the earlier days, these ladies used to come home to sell broomsticks to clean the house. They never told you anything about the broomstick. She will come and stand in front of the house. The lady will look, "Ayo, broomstick, yes." Parasai poach. She will go and get two. That's all. Today, the vacuum cleaner guy who comes to sell, he will not just stand there with the vacuum cleaner. He has to explain it. He has to sell it. So everything has become a commodity today. Everything is marketable. And that is why there's no Vidya Dattati Vinayam today, because even educational institutions are selling themselves.
Yes.
They're marketing themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Look at the schools. CBSE results, big poster. We got so many ranks. Even kindergartens are doing it now. So education has, either we can say, lost its original purpose, or we say, well, education has changed. It is like in the olden days, people in Kerala, many of them, they were not financially, all right. They were poor. So where will they go at the most? They will go to a kallu gada. They will drink kallu.
Yes, yes.
Now they go to a bar and drink whiskey, Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
That's what has happened. And what I added was, as a joke, the only Indians who are still show that Vinayam, humility, modesty, these are Indian men whose wife's name is Vidya. Because that Vidya gives them the Vinayam, teaches him. That's what I said. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any questions? We have that paper presenters are there. You have any questions? Please. We have around 5 minutes. You have any questions from any participant?
If I am allowed, I want to make one comment.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What Samikya spoke about, the body shape, how the advertisement industry is dictating terms. It's very true. Look at the history of Fair and Lovely in this country. They brought in the Fair and Lovely, and they said, unless you use it, you're not going to become fair.
Yes.
And one thing is, in the broader context, I'm sure Samikya has it in her paper.
Yes, sir.
In India, we have one bad habit. Anybody does anything abroad, we get excited about it. Can be any stupid thing. You will see in WhatsApp, fellows putting up a message. Some 30-year fellow stood on one leg on a palm tree in Australia and ate in 20 minutes 50 eggs. My question is, so what? What does it mean to me? I don't even eat eggs. But the fellow who puts the WhatsApp news is a vegetarian. See? So what happens is, whenever even any Indian achieves something outside, we blindly praise them.
Yes.
We should ask ourselves, why was that person appreciated? For what? You see?
Yes, true, sir. True. Really true.
So all these beauty queen contests, one thing very amazing, all these beauty contests you see everywhere, particularly when Indian women take part. Last question. What do you want to be? What is your ideal? Standard answer is Mother Teresa. If you want to become Mother Teresa, why do you go to a beauty contest? And what people don't understand, have you ever seen a lady from a small country selected or crowned as a beauty queen from Nigeria, Vietnam, Bolivia. No. Why India? Because India has a huge population of women, millions and millions of people to whom they can sell the beauty products,
Yes.
the cosmetic industry.
Yes,
See,
sir.
that is the story.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions? Any
I
questions?
also want to, hello, I
Ah.
also want to add,
Yes.
I just comment on the first presentation that the topic about body shaming and body positivity. Even the advertisement, like what they do is like first they instill this mindset that you have some problem, like for the beauty standard, that you are ugly, and then they sell their products. It's like their strategy. Like first, like for example, let me talk about my case. I was very fat, and then after some times I just lost some weight, so I had some stretch marks. So I didn't know that it was something bad until I saw a commercial and they say that you have stretch mark, it is very bad, and you have this not no beauty standard. And I thought, oh, like really, it is really so bad? And then they like use this product, your stretch mark will be invisible. And I was like, I don't have any problem. I don't have anything about this. Then why are they selling this? So
Yeah,
this is this.
exactly, Mahima. So
Yeah.
while actually I was reading articles for my paper, I saw that in pre-colonial times, there was a trend that women who were fat, okay, who had flesh in their belly, they were considered very beautiful. And like people wanted to take that bride who was fat, corporeal, having flesh, a large amount of flesh. Then after colonial times, what happened is this concept of thinness came. This numbers 36, 24, 36, 34, 24, 34. All these concepts came into picture. And people started idealizing, and when digital world came, they started to show that all throughout their channels and everything. And that actually instilled this idea of one figure as the beautiful figure. Okay, and coming to stretch marks, I have really seen a lot of, like, I won't be mentioning, I have seen a lot of like new commercials that are coming up, new brands coming up with oils that will be getting you, that will help you to get rid of stretch marks. But like, why? Why do you even need that? The thing is, see, it's up to you. If you are wanting to use it, you go for it. But there is no need for it. Like, for an example, when grinder came, there was no need for grinder. We had those grinding machines, right? So when grinder came, there was an idea that was instilled that you need grinder. So now here is the grinder. So it's up to you how you are. Just you have to stay healthy, and healthy doesn't have a figure to it. It's generally mentioned that health has a figure, but health doesn't have a figure. You can be corporeal and yet you can be healthy. Mahima, I feel that you are absolutely right on that.
Can I add something?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
See, Mahima, you're right. The question is, why should a woman make herself beautiful for a man? Why? If a lady has stretch marks, she should tell her husband, look, stretch marks are normal. You learn to appreciate it. That's also beauty. And one advantage, you can just bluff. Nowadays on the internet, they tell anything, everything, no? So you tell him, if you keep on looking at stretch marks, you will never have cataract or glaucoma problem. And then see what happens. Second thing, you're right, what you said. The concept of beauty, if you look at it, starting from Greece, the Greek culture, the Roman culture, the slim woman was the beauty. Starting from Turkey, what is called the Oriental beauty, starting from Turkey till India. Of course, when you go to Thailand, Vietnam and all, it changes again. But the concept was a lady with a lot of flesh, what do you call a fat, nice looking, plumpy lady. That was the ideal lady. If you ask Dr. Krishna Kumar and me, will tell you, our young days, our film heroines, they were all like that. Today's heroines are all very slim. Sometimes I think all films are low budget films. Producer cannot give you a full dress to the heroine. You see? So,
Yes, sir. Yes.
our days were different. So this concept, you're right, is because of colonialism, because we took all the European values. What they said is beautiful is beautiful. So even if you look at health problem, you will look at blood pressure, diabetes. You know what they do? The pharmaceutical industry in the West fixes the parameters. They keep on changing it. Today they will tell you 120/70 is normal blood pressure. They want to sell more medicines. Then suddenly they'll say 160 is normal. So anybody who was 120/70 earlier is now has blood pressure. Diabetes, they keep on changing things. That's not correct. It is like, you see, this is interesting. If you look at science and the experimental things, you want to find out what is the average height of an Indian man. You make a survey scientifically. What do? You interview 2,000 men, measure the heights, add all that, take an average. At the end, you come with the average, it should be 5.5 inches. Okay? So then the doctor says 5.5 inch is the normal height for a man. If you are not 5.5, you're sick. You're not all right. So what will happen actually? If Amitabh Bachchan will go to a doctor, they will tell him you're too tall, you're not normal, they will cut off his leg. If I go there, because of my height, they will say you're not tall enough, so they will amputate my leg and give me a long, new, artificial leg. This is what is the world. You're absolutely right. Beauty lies in the eyes of
The beholder.
no Samkhya. That's the difference. See, I don't know who taught you that.
So,
Do you know German? Samkhya, do you know German?
No, I don't know German.
I'll tell you as a German professor what is more realistic. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beer holder.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Once I've had 4 glasses of beer, then concept of beauty changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you all. You are all presented a very good presentation. Your presentations are good, sir. Especially sir Ganeshan sir. It's very interesting what he connected in both the early ancient period of education and the latest modern post-modern period of education. What are the differences? He clipped these to combine together how to go through and how to learn foreign languages. What are the what things we are keeping in mind to continue our keeping in mind to study or learn or teach foreign languages. Not in German, but all the foreign language. For all the foreign language, there is some teaching, some techniques are there. He explained it very well. Thank you very much. All the participants are presented the paper very well.
Sir, is it continue? Is it continue afternoon, sir? Please.
Yes, afternoon. Yes, Anis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it continue?
Afternoon we have the session. Your paper is there in the session.
Okay. This paper is concluding because all are presented. So thank you very much for participating this this fourth session of this webinar conducted by the German department. Thank you all. For now we are going to the afternoon session. So this is webinar, so we have no lunch. So you must take. You are on lunch. If God bless, then we will conduct in the future this good seminars in our department. So we are hope to overcome this pandemic situation. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's wind up for the session, and we'll be starting from 2:30. Looking forward to see you all in the next session as well. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.